Hey everyone, this is Meir. Many times people think that their condition is unchangeable. It actually does not start with them. It starts with the physicians who tell them, you're in a grave place and it cannot change. Truth of the matter is, there's no prophecy in medicine. We never know. Some people have the exact problem with the exact some people have the exact problem and the projection of the physicians is accurate or next to accurate. And some people have a whole different problem. And the projections of the physicians is completely inaccurate. So when a wonderful person came to me with spinal stenosis of the cervical, and to save him from paralysis in his arms and from problems in his body, a surgeon suggested for him a very dangerous surgery in his cervical spine. I told him to put his foot on the brake. In fact, I always take a risk when I tell a person, don't follow the doctors. It's not really my right. And even doctors don't have a right to tell others not to follow the regular concepts in medicine. It's written into law that you should follow exactly what your community of physicians are saying. At least I don't have a medical license to lose when I tell them not to do it. Only freedom to lose when I tell them not to do what doctors are telling them to do. But I think it is really atrocious to go and surgically open up a canal that is blocked, because you don't solve a real problem. A problem of lack of division between muscles of the spine. In his case, a problem of weakness of his legs that leads to tightness of the whole back. What does any surgeon think? They're going to open a canal and change his life? All the tension that caused that stenosis will keep being there. All he'll need is to have an unforeseen accident with all the tension that he has and have even a worse problem than that stenosis, which is narrowing of the spinal canal. We have to really understand that quite often medicine knows 1% of the 100% of our reality. So it's very important for us to start and divide between our muscles, as I'm lecturing in my book, Movement for Self-Healing, and I will show you in the book, Awakening Your Power of Self-Healing. Anytime that I see somebody with stenosis of the spine, I'm also looking at the narrow way that they move. And I have right now a client that I dearly like, who was very intellectual throughout his life, didn't exercise much, and limited his movement. Throughout life, we accept limitation as a part of life, and it doesn't have to be that. In fact, we accept it from a young age because we learn in the gym to lift weights with incredible amount of stress. Now, there's nothing wrong in lifting weights, understand me right. You strengthen your muscles, you burn your cholesterol, you become stronger. But there's something wrong in using few muscles that you always use with greater strain and not think once about it. Eventually, you become stiff, and some people who become stiffer than others, like our ex-governor, Schwarzenegger, some people call him the governator. And I personally liked him, but I think that he overdid it with lifting weights to the point of great stiffness, and many hormones that he took caused him to have several heart attacks. I think it is so important. It's important that we learn to strain in a healthy manner, not overstrain, not understrain. that we teach ourselves to become flexible so we don't tear ligaments. I've heard of one person who sat lotus, which is a great way to sit, but he didn't pay attention to the fact that he slept in the middle of sitting, and when he woke up, he basically lost one of his legs out of poor blood flow to that leg. There could be many, many side effects for overstretching, many, many side effects for overstrengthening, but no side effect to using muscles we never used before and integrate them with the muscles we always use. And that can prevent spinal problems. And that probably will help people to not need the whole spine industry. So many people in the world have back problems. I'm actually happy that more and more people are saying that sitting is the new smoking, which means sitting is very harmful for the body. I agree with it completely. But then what do you do? So I'm going to give you a very simple exercise, but I want you to really be aware of the concept that dividing muscle groups, lower back, middle back, upper back, allowing the legs to do the work and not straining with the upper body to help the legs, getting the neck to move freely, that is the real panacea. Cutting something because it's too narrow after all that structure caused the problem is only a temporary solution. It may make you feel better for the year after that was cut and much worse for the 30 years that you would leave later. So a real good exercise for you, as I was mentioning in some other programs, is to stand up, lift your left leg and hold it with the left arm, push your chest forwards and look up at the ceiling. Take 5 slow, deep breaths in and out through your nose. So your abdomen will be full of air. And exhale. Of course, the air doesn't go to the abdomen, but let's think that way. And you feel a great relief in the chest and a great relief in your lower abdomen after they were compressed while sitting. Do exactly the same thing with the other side. Stand up, lift the right leg, grab it by the ankle, look up at the ceiling and push your chest forwards. 5 slow breaths. Think as if you have all the time in the world in the middle of the busiest day you can have. It's a challenge, but you're worth it. No matter how crazy life is, for those 5 breaths, you are you for yourself and for no one else. And after you did that, you sit down. And if you have an extra moment, move the lower back on its own, middle back on its own, and upper back on its own, which means the shoulders are apart, and then they get together. The shoulder blades are apart, and then they get together. Now do what you normally don't do. Twist yourself to the side. Stick your tongue at your cheek. So if you look to the right, push your tongue to the right cheek and look at the right wall. And if you look at the left, push your tongue to the cheek and look at the left wall. And breathe deeply. When we do the sunning exercise, it's kind of similar as we move our head from side to side, facing the sun, and we're loosening up our necks. I'm going to do it this evening. I love the long summer days. I always miss summer during the winter. And I'm happy that many times I go during the winter to Brazil when it is summer there, because the days are longer. It's so wonderful to have long days. You know, being happy means a lot to everyone. and you can become happy day by day, moment by moment. With many blessings to all of you, your friend Meir.